Welcome back to Scale Auto Guy's Workbench. Today I'm going to start building this 1956 Cadillac ElDorado. You've probably already seen the unboxing video I recently did, so I'm going to skip past all of that for now, but I will put a link to that video in the description box below for those of you who have not seen that unboxing video. So we're going to jump straight into putting this Cadillac together right after this. Welcome back. As you can see, all the parts are laid out here, and we're going to start assembling the body today. So I'm going to have to cut out all these pieces. There is some flash cleanup that needs to be done, and then we can start assembling. Whew, have I bitten off more than I can chew or what? Alright, let's get started here. Yeah, this one here kind of surprised me when I opened the box. I did kind of have a little prior knowledge on it because I did look at a couple of review videos, and I did come across one. I don't remember the channel name, but I do remember that the guy did not recommend this kit because it was a multi-piece body. That, to me, that is a challenge. I've done multi-piece bodies before. You've seen them on the channel here, and wow, they could have given me a little bit more there. I don't want to just peel it off because that usually ends up taking a piece of the body that, taking a chunk out of the body or something that you don't want to do. Let's see if I can just cut this off. I'm not sure. There we go. That didn't turn out too bad. So I'm going to have to go through and trim off all of these little pieces that I had to leave behind. Now the direction sheet does give you step-by-step directions on how to assemble this, and I'm going to follow those right to the letter, simply because I want to make sure that this is as straight as possible. Okay, so I've got pretty much all of the major parts done. Ouch. Yeah, I was playing with our new puppy a couple days ago, and she's still, well, she's a puppy. And she's got those incredibly sharp puppy teeth. I know you guys probably have seen my hands in the previous videos where I had a band-aid on one of my fingers. Well, she got me pretty good. And that was with one of her incisors. I went to kind of reach for it because I was kind of like, to the side of her face. I went to reach for it, and she kind of opened her mouth right at about the time I was putting my hand up there, and boy, she just sliced that finger right open. And no, I didn't get mad at her or anything like that. She's a puppy. Alright, I'm going to hang up my direction sheet here so I have quick reference. I have, I know you guys haven't really seen too much of my desk space here, just the countertop. But let me pan the camera up so you can kind of get an idea of what I have above me here. And that goes all the way up there to the ceiling. And then I have cars and display cases right there. And then back down to the workbench. And the same thing up over here. Now this workbench is in a very oddly shaped corner. It's not really, whoop, sorry about the bouncing camera. This is kind of at about a 30-degree angle over here to the right. I built this workbench here in this corner because I have a desk to the left and I have a desk to the right, and this was all wasted space. So I custom built this table and shelf unit to fit in that space, so there's no wasted space in this room. You guys, that's a little glimpse into my workbench. I have all my painting supplies basically to the right, paintbrushes and stuff to the left, and in front of me, all those little drawers, I have extra sanding strips or sticks and paintbrushes and glues and just miscellaneous stuff that I use throughout a build, and that's all in those shelves. And anyway, let's get back to this. We've got some cleanup to do. I'm going to get busy with that, and I'll see you in a couple minutes. Alright fellas, the body's together. It did fight a little bit, but I expected that. Had to do a little sanding. Once this is all cured, I'm going to have to do some cleanup. I got a little bit of extra glue back here on this portion. Not a big deal. Just take a little bit of sandpaper to that. Everything else is kind of glued in place, clamped in place. Now we're just waiting for that glue to cure and we can go on to the next step. Now, in the direction sheet, it does show, you know, you paint all the parts first, then you put it together. But I have seen in other reviews where you can put the body together and put everything in it afterwards. So that's why I decided to go ahead and put the body together first. That way there, when I paint it, I get a nice even color, a nice even coat of paint across all of the panels. So there we are. So I'll see you in a couple minutes. We gotta let this glue cure, and then it's, well, we got a little bit more cleanup to do, and then it's off to the paint booth. Alright fellas, I got the body all done. I got that little bit of cleanup. I still got a little bit more to do, but I got about 80% of that flashing and stuff cleaned up. So the body's set to go. It's all nice and square and even. I'm going to work on the tires now. As you can see with this one, there's quite a bit of flash around that. And I've come up with a unique way of fixing the problem. Usually I put, oops, sorry, didn't mean to bump the camera. Usually I put the vinyl tires on a deep well socket and put it in my little impact gun. These ones, the center hole obviously is way too small. So what I did is I put the small sanding drum in my Dremel, and these fit just ever so slightly. And then when you tighten up the screw, of course, that's how it keeps the sanding drum in place. It expands that rubber and it grips the sanding drum and it holds onto the sanding drum. I'm hoping that will work for sanding these. So let's give it a try. It's going to be a little loud here. I need to sand just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. I'm being kind of easy with this. I don't want to be overly aggressive. I'm going to get a little bit. I don't want to be too aggressive with this, because at the speed that this is set at, and it's the lowest setting, you can see where it's starting to kind of melt the plastic. So I'm done with this set of tires. I'm going to have to hand sand to get rid of that. The reason why I didn't want to do the whole tire like this from start to finish is because I didn't want to make flat spots on the tire. I wanted it to be all nice and even, and yeah, that feels pretty good. So that's how you can do these, and you just loosen the screw and the tires slip right off. See, that's just a little rubber, like a rubber tube, and when you screw that down, it expands it and it grips, and it works. Put that one on. That one on, and then we'll tighten up the screw. and we're all set. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright fellas, I did a bunch of painting while you weren't looking. I've gotten all of the sub-assemblies pretty much painted. Got the engine block done. You just saw that I had painted the body and the white portion of the seats, and those are here. I gotta wait just a little bit longer and I can peel the tape off. I've got the chassis painted, which is kind of, well, I brush painted the entire thing, and I have a little bit of touch-ups to do, but overall it looks pretty good. I've got the rear suspension, the air cleaners. I still got to finish up the steering wheel. So I've got a lot of the sub-assembly stuff painted, and I'm just about ready to start kind of throwing everything together. As soon as I get the seats done, the areas that I taped off on the seats, those will be blue to match the exterior color of the car. I may have to throw a second coat of white paint on there. I don't know, it's not looking like it's covering very well, so I may have to throw a second coat of white paint on there before I do anything else. Now with the dash, the bottom part's going to be obviously white. The top where I have the tape is going to be blue. And all of this in here, in the center, around the gauges and stuff, that's all going to be silver, and I'm going to be doing that with bare metal foil. And yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to throw a second coat of white paint on there. And this is my first time looking at this since I painted it. And yeah, second coat is needed. So let's head back over to the paint booth and get that done. Alright fellas, I tried the little hammer trick to try to push those axles into those wheels. I tried put the socket on it, smack it, that didn't work. Excuse me. What I did end up doing, I broke out the big clamp. This worked, but you have to be careful not to squeeze it too hard. Because if you squeeze it too hard, you get exactly what I have in the center of this wheel. Yeah, I pushed the axle clean through. It worked, but I failed. I was able to pull it back out a bit, and it's good to go. The rear, I used the clamp, but I didn't squeeze it. I gave it actually one extra squeeze that I shouldn't have gave it. So anyway, the wheels are on. Let's get to the interior. The paint is just finishing up on those as far as drying, and we should be good to go. I am not pleased with this paint job. It did not turn out as well as I had hoped. This paint was really hard to work with. Next time, if I use it ever again, instead of going with a gray primer, I'm going to go with a white primer. The gray primer, I ended up having to put like 6 coats of this paint on here just to get coverage. And I don't think that I was thinning it too much before I put it through the airbrush, but yeah, I'm not real pleased with the outcome of this paint job. I know it looks really uber shiny on the camera, but there are some flaws in it that hopefully the camera doesn't pick up and you guys think that I'm a great painter. But anyway, yeah, there's the paint job. I mean, it looks okay-ish. I'm not real satisfied with it, but I'm just going to go with it. I just finished polishing it, so that brought out a little bit more shine than what I had. This has, like I said, like 4 or 6, I think it's like 6 coats of paint and 3 coats of clear. And then on top of that, I polished it. So I don't know. I'm just not real happy with it. But like I said, I'm just going to go with it. It's passable. Normally I do a lot better on my paint jobs. So, I got some polish in there I got to clean out. But let's get on to doing the chrome on the sides, and then we'll get to the final assembly. Alright fellas, I keep bumping that camera. Hold on, one more bump. There we go. Okay. Now, as you can see, I kind of skipped ahead here. I did my chrome, my bare metal foil. I've attached the rear bumper. This little fascia piece, you could probably, and I didn't know this, but I figured it out. You can probably attach that to the body before you paint. That way there you'll get a clean line of adhesion there. I didn't, so But anyway, I got bare metal foil on, my bumper, tail lights, headlights, front bumper. Now the door panels, they don't attach to your interior here. See those little, these here? Your door panel goes in to the body, and then this little hook on the bottom of the door panel, this one right here, that grabs the floor in the chassis. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put the door panels in, and I have to figure out at what point does the dash go in. See how I did the dash? Looks kind of sporty. Anyway, the dash and steering wheel's got to go in there. Now that attaches, I believe it attaches inside the body. So I think that all kind of goes together before you drop the body. But the directions is kind of, they're kind of, I don't know how to explain that. I mean, you're looking at this. It doesn't give you an order per se, but there's a lot of reading down here. So now it says right here to cement the lower rear deck panel to the bottom edge of the rear deck. Of course, that's after you paint it, which I did. But I think if you put it on prior to painting, like I said, you would get that, you know, full across. You could adjust it, get that full across adhesion. So that's something to consider. Right, put the body, chassis together by my spread and stuff. Okay, wait. Okay, step 10 says place instrument panel between the body sides and cement it to the firewall. So that's got to go in next. I don't see on here where it says when to put the door panels in. I mean, it obviously shows you doing that before you put the body together. Now, I did not paint the figures. I don't like them, so I'm not including them in this kit. But they do come in this kit. I just don't like to do them. Yeah. So I'm going to put the dash in, the door panels in, and then we can fit this all together, and the steering wheel goes in after everything else. So I'm just going to put a couple little dabs of glue here. Ooh, air bubble. I hate when it air bubbles. Now the best way I've found to use this tube glue is don't squeeze the tube. Now you got 4 pins in here to align this door panel up with, and they're a little tricky when you got the firewall in place. Did I get it? Did I get it? I got it. Awesome. So that door panel goes right in there. Did I get any glue up here? No, I didn't. Awesome. Okay. So that door panel's in. I'm wondering, should I put this in before I put the door panels in? So confusing. If there was ever a reason to not recommend this kit, and so far I haven't found a reason, not really. The directions are kind of poor. If the direction sheet was reworked, it would not be a bad kit. You know, it's pretty decent for what it is. I mean, it's an old kit. It'll come from an old mold. See, and there's a pin on the dash that goes into little fingers right there, but I can't get it to line up. And it's not because the door panel's in the way, I don't think. No, it's just kind of ill-fitting in the body. I know it doesn't stand up like that. Come on. Okay, I got it test fitted in there. I just have to take it back out and glue it now. Fun. Okay. So, let me see. That looks like it might need to be a little bit trimmed a little bit. So, yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bit of flash like right there. And I think that's giving me the fits. That's why that dashboard isn't wanting to go in real well. So let's trim that back. And let's check the other side if it's the same way. No, it's not too bad. So, this is where it's going to get a little messy, I think. Put a little dab of glue in the fingers. A little dab of glue over here. Come on. Yeah, I like letting gravity get the glue out of the tube. That way there, I don't have to worry about squeeze and a big glob come flying out. Alright, let me spread this around a little bit in here. Theoretically, I could pull the door panels back out, but or that door panel back out, but I'm being lazy, and you guys probably can't see what the heck I'm doing. I find that I do that a lot. I don't mean to, but yeah, it's difficult sometimes to work on these when you got a camera, you know, in the way. All right, now I feel compelled to swear right now, but I'm not going to. I don't make much money on these videos, but I do like my monetization. Oh, damn. I should have known better. Oh, and I scratched the paint. Doggone it. I'll have to touch that up. Okay, I got the dash in place. Okay. Let's get this other door panel on. Oops. Bumped it with my forehead, sorry.
Yeah, there's no easy way to get these, you know, get the dash in and get the door panels in, because they all fit kind of snug. But I would recommend aligning your bottom 2 pins and then kind of holding it and hinging it and pushing it up and get the top ones in. Okay, now I got to touch up that paint. And I think we're just about set. Oh, something I wanted to show you guys. This looks like it was done in bare metal foil, right? I don't remember where I picked this up at, but this looks like bare metal foil. I have touched this several times and it retains its shininess. So, would I recommend them? Maybe. I mean, you guys have to, you know, you can use whatever you want. That pen seems to work pretty well. Like I said, I don't remember where I picked that up. I don't know if I got that over at Hobby Lobby or if I ordered it online or it was a gift by someone. I couldn't tell you. I get so much stuff. You know, I buy a lot of little things to help me build. Okay, the moment of truth. Oh boy. There we go. There are no connection points back here. Now there's door and that doesn't look right. That doesn't look right at all. The exhaust pipes have got to go inside the bumper. There we go. That's better. So when you do this, maybe you should wait to put the bumpers on. I don't know. I put the bumpers on. You just got to make sure that this goes up underneath here. The exhaust pipes go inside the bumper, which on the 1.1 car, they exhaust out right here. So, yeah, that looks better, and then this will attach. All right, let me finish up these last little details, and I'll see you at the final. Welcome to the final on this 1956 Cadillac ElDorado Biarritz. I hope I pronounced that right. From Atlantis Model Company. This multi-piece body kit was originally a Revell kit from around 1955-56. I have to say that this kit isn't as difficult to assemble as it appears. Yes, it has multi-piece body, and yes, the direction sheet is a little bit different than what you normally find in today's more modern kits. But that's what makes this kit so unique to build. If you're used to building 1/24th or 1/25th scale cars, this one will throw you a little bit. Because it is 1/32nd scale, everything about it is a little bit smaller. Once this is completed, it really is a pretty nice kit, even with its flaws. Speaking about flaws, let's look at those a little bit. The direction sheet isn't the easiest to follow. Luckily for me, it kind of comes naturally to me, and I really only looked at the direction sheet maybe 3 or 4 times throughout the build. The wheels are very difficult to mount on the axles, and you saw what happened when I applied brute force. Yeah, it didn't work out well. The hood, well, it doesn't close all the way down like it should, unless you lift it up in the back at the hinges. And then it's sticking up in the back, but it's closed in the front, so either way it looks bad. The windshield frame doesn't fit to the windshield very well because this kit in its original form didn't have a windshield, so the frame was just the frame. Forcing the frame to fit to the windshield required a little bit of clamping here and there, and well, I got a little bit of Mod Podge on the windshield where I didn't want it to go, and I couldn't get it to come back off, so I got a little glob right there over the steering wheel. The 2 included figurines were not included with this build, mainly because I really don't care much for them, and because once I got the steering wheel in place, there wouldn't have been any room for the driver's legs to fit under the steering wheel. The steering wheel is in its proper location, but it's like almost on the seat, so putting his legs in there probably wouldn't have worked too well. I primered them up in the hopes that I was going to use them, but I ended up passing on that, so yeah. Now let's look at some of the good things about this kit. Well, once it's completed, it'll give you a great sense of accomplishment. The multi-piece body is very interesting challenge that I feel most builders could complete. Is it a good kit for a first-timer to build? Probably not. Even though it is a basic build from the 50s, it still requires a bit of experience to build it without slinging it against the wall. Once the body is squarely put together, it gets easier from this point. So, now I have another Cadillac to add to the collection. I believe this one is number 4 now. I have the 57 ElDorado and the 2 Escalades, so yeah, this is number 4. Everybody, I think, needs a classic Caddy in their collection, and this one fits the bill, and it's a kind of a nice diversion from the everyday kit. Although I feel like I could have done a little bit better with the paint job, it still turned out pretty good. I like the color, but I'm not exactly thrilled about the paint itself, because it didn't cover very well. I ended up having to put multiple coats of paint on this just to get it to look as good as it does. Well, this build is done, and I hope that you enjoyed the build video. If you did, go ahead and click that thumbs up button. It helps the YouTube algorithm. If you have any questions or comments, please write those in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to respond as soon as possible. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, or you can drop me a line at scaleautoguy@gmail.com. If you want more videos like this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so that you'll be notified when I post new videos. Thanks for watching Scale Auto Guy's Workbench, and I'll see you on the next build.